kind of room here.
Yeah, really. Pass the straw.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you can probably guess that we're not in a balloon anymore. And we just found the other party in there. Did very good. I'm getting a bit worried about you when you got so low though. And what are we doing?
Getting ready for our
the big celebration. Ready here with all of our goodies.
This is our kind of place, really. I like that. Craig, I understand this is a bit of ballooning tradition, isn't it?
It sure is, and if we can get everybody inside here, we're going to go through the whole story.
Hey, you guys, we've got
What I
a
want to do is close that door so the bugs don't.
little story happening here.
They're going to want to join us otherwise. Okay, we have everybody. I think we do. Does anybody know why we open a bottle of champagne after a balloon flight?
No, not everybody's here.
Because we're live.
Somebody always says
We made
that.
it.
Actually, this is an old tradition, as Ian pointed out. This is a tradition that goes back over 200 years to Paris, France. Ballooning first started and man's first flight took place in 1783. Back then, though, they didn't have all these fancy propane burners and nylon bags, but they did have fire and smoke, and they had paper bags. And the first few balloons were literally made out of paper, and they had an onboard fire below on a big platform. And they actually filled the balloons up with smoke from a fire that they fueled with wet straw, old shoes, rotting meat, anything that they thought would smoke up real black, because they thought the blacker the smoke, the better back then. They didn't realize they were just heating the air. Now, if you think back over 200 years ago, if you had seen one of these crazy things flying over, back when only the birds flew and you'd never seen anything fly, and this 70 or 80 foot tall bag of smoke comes and lands in your backyard, think back what you would have done back 200 years ago. The first few balloons when they landed were literally attacked and destroyed by people with pitchforks and anything else they could grab, who came out to kill what they thought was some big fire-breathing demon that had landed on their property. And the first few balloons were destroyed that way. And the pilots, you can imagine what they looked and smelled like after an hour or so of feeding this fire. They had to do some very fast talking to save their own skins. So they came up with an idea. Why don't we carry some champagne from a local vintner? And back then it would do three things for them. Number one, they could quickly and easily prove they were from Earth and just from the next town by walking out and showing them the bottle. And people would realize they just came from the next town, they recognized the writing. Number two, they could make friends out of these people and offer them the champagne as a token of their appreciation for not stabbing their balloon to death. And it was a friendship offering to the landowners. And number three, they didn't have fire extinguishers back then. And this stuff works pretty good when you shake it up. That's really how it all got started, was a friendship offering to the landowners. And these days, we don't give the landowners champagne anymore. I've had a couple people get offended by that, and it turned a real nice thing sour real quickly. So we give them a calendar, a ballooning calendar, and we also do a drawing for a balloon ride every month from all our landowners, and we keep the champagne. But we have a nice toast to the early aeronauts and the harrowing landings they used to have. So that's how it all got started. And then, 100 years ago, the Irish got in on the act, and the Irish came up with what we now call the Irish Balloonist Prayer, and we say this after each and every flight to ensure good luck in the next. And the Irish Balloonist Prayer goes like this: the winds have welcomed you with softness, the sun has blessed you with his warm hands. You've flown so high and so well that God has joined you in your laughter and set you gently back again into the loving arms of Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have champagne and we also have a soft drink if someone would rather not have the alcoholic champagne. Who wants champagne?
We've had that Coke.
Oh, right.
That Coke, I think, is from the 1980s.
Thanks, Phil. Sorry to keep you out in the rain. Okay.
Why is everybody hitting me?
You're next.
Fantastic.
You're welcome. No, you can.
Okay.
Cheers.
We would like to propose a toast to all of the fearless aeronauts who went up with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed your flight. We thoroughly enjoyed having you aboard. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Just to prove that even the cameraman can do it.
And to the weather gods who held the rain off just long enough for us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.